All right, buckle up because this is one crazy ride. This is a story about the youngest murderer to receive life sentence. Before we dive into this intriguing story, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories. Picture this, a 12-year-old kid named Sting, living in a world where his biggest passion is WWE. He's obsessed with wrestling. His hero, The Rock, the dude eats, sleeps, and breathes it. Now, one day, Sting's mom gets a call from her friend, asking if she can babysit her 6-year-old daughter. Let's call her Six. Of course, mom agrees. So now it's Sting, his mom, and Six hanging out at home. After some snacks and TV time, mom heads upstairs to relax, leaving Sting and Six downstairs to do their thing. Now remember, Sting's all about the wrestling life. And he's not just sitting there watching TV like a regular kid. Nope. He's ready to put Six through some moves. The problem? He's 170 pounds, and she's only 50. So, yeah, this quickly goes from innocent play fighting to way too rough. He's tossing her around, putting her in headlocks, basically living out his WWE fantasies. It's getting loud, really loud. So loud, in fact, the mom yells from upstairs, "Hey, quiet down." Now here's where it all goes downhill. About 45 minutes later, Sting runs upstairs to wake his mom. He's freaking out. "Mom, Six isn't breathing," he says. Mom jumps out of bed, races downstairs, and finds Six lying on the floor, completely unresponsive. She immediately calls 911, but by the time they get there, it's too late. Six doesn't make it. Turns out, Sting, in his excitement, had gone too far with their wrestling moves and accidentally hurt her. The next day, the medical examiner reports that Six had 35 injuries, broken ribs, a cracked skull, the works. It's clear this wasn't just a freak accident. They call it a homicide. And guess who's in the hot seat? Yep, 12-year-old Sting. They arrest him and, because of how the laws are set up, he's being charged as an adult for first-degree murder. Now he's facing a life sentence in prison. Can you believe that? Fast forward 2 years, Sting's now 14 and ready to face trial. His lawyers come to him with a deal, plead guilty. And instead of life in prison, he gets 3 years in juvenile detention and 10 years probation. Seems like a pretty decent deal, right? But here's the twist. Mom isn't having any of it. She's convinced he's just a kid who made a mistake, and no jury would convict him. So, against advice, Sting rejects the deal and goes to trial. The verdict? Guilty. The jury finds him guilty of first-degree murder, and just like that, 14-year-old Sting is sent to life in prison. He becomes the youngest person in U.S. history to receive a life sentence. But wait, it gets even crazier. 3 years later, after serving time in juvenile prison, Sting's attorneys fight the case, arguing that at 14, he wasn't mentally capable of standing trial in an adult court. And guess what? The court agrees, as conviction gets overturned. But instead of putting him through another trial, they offer him a second plea deal, house arrest, and 10 years of probation. Instead of life in prison, Sting takes it. At 18, he walks out of prison, no life sentence hanging over his head. He's free, finally. Or at least that's what we thought. Because just a year later, Sting is hanging out at someone's apartment. When out of nowhere, he gets this weird idea. He orders a pizza. When the delivery guy shows up, Sting pulls a gun and demands money. The delivery guy freaks out and runs back to Domino's. He calls the cops. And Sting? He's arrested again. This time, he's facing armed robbery charges and a violation of his parole. He pleads guilty. And after all of that, after everything he's been through, he's sentenced to 30 years in prison. All of this went down in Florida, by the way. So, there you have it. Sting went from wrestling in his living room to becoming a convicted felon. What a wild, tragic story, right? Share your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing stories.